Welcome back to Carpathian Countryside for episode 24. Our 4th year harvest season is a go. With me, MrSealyp. Back here on Carpathian Countryside, it's June 2. There's no more harvests available. However, I'm going to whiz up and do the mulching around my grapevines. I've got a Grinton mulcher, part of that Grape Vineyard pack. I hadn't encountered one like this before, and I put it on the back and I was thinking, oh no, my tractor's way too wide for it, but have no fear, it opens up. Our grape juice is producing quite nicely, and the must is being made into fertiliser, which again is working quite well. It's all chugging away, so it should be into July 1 we should get some more harvest contracts come up, which I'm going to kind of hopefully plug away at. The countryside is looking very lush and green and lovely as we move towards harvest, which I'm enjoying. If you haven't caught it yet, the new Let's Play series I'm doing on FS22 with none other than MrSealyp, my wife. Is it going to cause a marital strife? Potentially. The premise behind it being I'm teaching her to play Farming Simulator. She's a complete novice. She had a little bit of a play around on FS19, but not really very much. So she said she wanted to learn to play. Would I teach her? I said, well, I'd jump on and we'll have a go. So we're going to be doing a series co-op together. We put up the first episode yesterday evening, I think it was. It went up. So if you fancy checking that out, we're just going on and playing and having a bit of fun, like I used to do with Silly G, but now with my wife, which is great. And if I recall correctly, there we go. That one that way. That one that way. Perfect. Drop it down. And away we mulch. It's not quite wide enough to do each bit down the middle in one pass, but that's okay. So I'll do a couple of runs up each one. Trying to do too much of the grass. I mean, I could really do with at some point purchasing a Vineyard tractor, because the turning circles are a little bit better as well. I should probably do that. I don't know if this is going to have the desired effect or not, but we'll certainly give it a go. I'll do every other ones where my turning circle is, and then actually what I'm going to do now, I've got past that bit, I'm going to raise it, go straight across so I'm not turning as often, and get the mulching done. I do like this little tractor. It's difficult when you use some small implements. Like now, when you look at the back, you can't even see the implement. I thought I'll have a look over the back and see where it is. Can't see it. So, for the sake of just making life a little bit easier for myself, I'll do it from outside. That's going that way. So I'll miss one, do one. Or maybe two. I'll catch it on the way back. So, I'm going to crack on getting this done. Chipboard still being produced. The grape juice pallets are only 492. They're 492, so two of them, just over two of them, makes up 1,000 litres. So I couldn't work out why there were so many. I was thinking, well, this is highly productive. I can't remember the last time I did grape juice. Probably a while ago. It might have been in Western Wilds actually, I can't remember. Did I do raisins in there? Anyway. I might switch it over and do some raisin production with the next loads, because raisins are worth a fair bit. And then switch it over and I might do a little bit, rather than putting the grape must to fertiliser production, we'll then try out some other ones as well. But anyway, yeah, that's just all ideas at the moment, things I want to try out. And the weird thing is, I'm really buzzing. It took us a little while to set everything up, myself and MrSealyp. She's on a PS4 and I'm on a PS5, so and she's played computer games in the past, but she's not a console gamer. She's played little bits here and there. We used to play a few computer games and stuff when we were younger, when we first dating. Her brother's a computer whiz. I mean, I don't think there's a console or system or anything he hasn't owned over the years. He does web design and stuff now, and we used to play Sonic the Hedgehog. I used to go to their house for dinner and stuff, and in the evenings we'd play Sonic, and I always remember playing John Madden, American football, because he was MrSealyp's brother was obsessed with American football. But we used to play a game called Alien Breed, which was like a top-down alien shooter, and Monkey Island, which was one of those. What's it called? It's like a narrative, like a storyline, like a role-playing type sort of thing. There's a word for it, a phrase for it, the style of game. It escapes me at the moment, anyway. So yeah, she's not a console gamer. She has played a bit. Give her a due in the past. A bit of Gran Turismo. When Gran Turismo Sport was sort of new out, we did a bit of Gran Turismo Sport during all the lockdowns, all the pandemic stuff. She's pretty good at racing games, give her a due. So yeah, we'll see how we get on with it. It's just gone 7:15 in the afternoon, June 2. I was getting ready to sort of go ahead into July and see if any more harvest contracts come up. And so I thought, I'm wasting hours, I'm wasting daylight. I love the sound of that starting up. I said about taking some stuff over to our little windmill and didn't do it. So I thought what I'm going to do, because the barley I'm keeping hold of, because that's going to be a constituent part of my pig food, if I do pig food, I'm going to put the wheat in. I've got 11,500 this, or just over, so I'm just going to fill one trailer. I don't need to take both trailers with me, but in all honesty, I can't be bothered, but connecting and disconnecting them, I'm just dragging an empty trailer with me. It's not the end of the world. So I'm going to head up, we're going to drop off a full load, and we can get some flour being produced. Because I just thought, we've got the production sitting there, I've got the wheat sitting here, and I went through to check the pig food requirement, and because that's why I'm doing corn, because it's corn, barley, and what are the other two things? I've got sugar beet, and there's another one that I have got. So I thought, yeah, why not? Let's get some flour going. Now I know I said kind of early on this was going to be more about the farming, and I mean, bearing in mind we have skipped. We're now what, year 4, so we've gone through 3 harvests into our 4th harvest, and I felt I was missing out on something. You know, I know not everyone agrees with productions and agrees with pallets and all that kind of stuff, but I was playing thinking, I feel that this is missing an element, this is missing something. You know, yes, I could just produce these things and sell them. Old school farming simulator, just produce them, sell them. Like I said before, you remember the contracts, FS15? Took on a contract, you would literally just do a harvest. When the harvest was complete, the harvester would just keep filling. There was no delivery section, there was no delivery portion. You didn't have to take it anywhere. So that kind of expanded. So you could just do that. I thought, but this is here, I want to do this. Whoa, I've got a load of chipboard there. I think I might have to get the forklift on that. All the mulching's done. It's looking very neat and tidy, actually. Didn't do a bad job of that. Now I think my tip side left. If I can swing around this side, it might come up. There we go. Let's get that going in. And then if we can move the lights on, can put one. Watch our door. So we want wheat flour. It should start producing. Well, it will do. By tomorrow morning, we should have some wheat flour in here. There we go. Now we're producing. Our windmill's turning. Let's It's a very calming. I've always thought that about windmills. I've said that about wind turbines before. And people say, oh, they're an eyesore on the landscape, they're awful, they're horrible things. And I've always said, if you had a choice, would you rather have a few wind turbines, or even an entire wind farm, or a power station? What would you rather look at? And I just find there's something very graceful about a windmill, whether it be a windmill or wind turbine. I don't know, just me. So what I'm going to do now, before I head back down to the farm, wood chip to the carpentry. I'm not going to load up a trailer, I'm just going to take it. Lights. Let's go. And I'll see you tomorrow morning. Hopefully, like I said, we'll have some more harvest work to do. We should be into barley's now, but I think wheat is July onwards. Is it canola as well? There was a couple, weren't there? We should be able to get 2 on here. I mean, if I was... I could maybe get 4. I don't know if that might be overstressing the forks at the front a little bit, but we could try 4. Let's push them together. Like that. That was over a little bit, wasn't it? Okay. Excellent. Whoa, that's loud. I will see you tomorrow. We were up with the larks this morning. It's 5:14 in the morning. Today's wood chip has been sold, and I've got the fruit juices of our labour. We've got our grape juice. I'm going to go and check actually, because I haven't checked to see how much fertiliser we've produced. We've got a couple of pallets of grape seed, but I haven't got any grape seed oil. We've got no production for that at the moment. And I've got to remember where we were for this. We were at the far end, aren't we, for selling pallets. And it's harvest has come around. So we're into July 1. I've got a couple of harvests. I've taken on another baling contract on field 17 because that pays good money. It's another silage one, but that would be one I will do off camera because I showed you me doing that a couple of episodes ago. But we've got a canola harvest and a barley harvest to do. I've taken the harvester out to the canola field. The barley one, I'm going to have a harvester on each field, running them both at the same time, rather than 2 on one field, then 2 on the other. I thought that would be well, I thought that would be a better way of doing it. Maybe it will. Am I in the wrong place? Is it here or is it? There we go. Grape juice is not accepted here apparently, but we are being paid for it, so I'll take it that it is accepted here. And unknown is not accepted either. Whoa! Tell you what, doing the old grape juice is worth it. That's not bad. So we're going to head back to the yard. I think my grass that I planted in that plot has started to grow, so it's not just an empty plot at the moment. I haven't decided. I don't know if I'm going to put sheep in. I might do it at the end of the episode. Maybe put a sheep pen in. I might put like an open pasture type one in. I don't know. I haven't really decided. Maybe one with a barn, and then I will look at doing the tailors, and then we can move grape must, and we can maybe make some leatherette. I don't know. Did I say that's all? Maybe a little bit further down the line. I think I've got a pallet. We're bordering on a second pallet of flour at our little windmill. Everything's gaining traction now. You know, it was that first year into the second year, well, the second year as well, of getting enough money together to pay off the debt, because we were $500,000 in debt. The farm was. We did that. We then did enough with the sugar beet and some other things we could buy and swap out some machinery. We had bought some machinery, but we swapped load of machinery out. We're at a point now where, with a couple of productions in place and the jobs we did to get to that point, we're now making a bit of money. And we got contracts in this field here, field 8, and I think it's field 8 and field 18, I want to say. So we're going to go back to the yard, check that out, get those going. It's harvest, baby! Let's get on with it. I'm feeling very positive about this. It's that, like I say, not that I felt that I was banging my head against a brick wall before. I was doing the jobs that needed to be doing, the jobs I needed to be doing to get going. That was the whole point. Just, you know, get to where we needed to go. And I did some interesting jobs, some interesting harvests. I did some harvests that took me hours and hours and hours. And like the sugar beet harvest, that took a whole day. That's one of those Sundays I did that sugar beet harvest. And that was great. I don't mind putting in the hours. I really don't. What I do object to is when people then have a go at you and say, oh, you've done that too quickly. That was too easy. It hasn't been too easy. At all hasn't been too easy. Just getting on with it. So, we're just going to whiz through and show you our little grass area. Oh, I put in another grape orchard just on the end. We had enough space to fit one in to the side. There we go. So our little grass field's growing. So if I put a sheep pen, I'm thinking right on the edge here, on this concrete bit, so we don't interfere with the manure heap. That will then still give me grass around that which we could cut. Plus I bought that grass field, so we're going to need to do some grass cutting at some point. But I like that. I think it's nice that, yes, we did take down a building, and rather than leave it as a building site or just a big open space, we can actually do something with it. This one might be a little bit trickier, I think, over here, because for landscaping, for some reason, when I was trying to do the, it might be the extension for this, I don't know, I was trying to work it out. It wouldn't let me landscape this section here or this section here. So for putting placeables down, I'm not sure how that's going to pan out. I suppose if it will let me play, I suppose I could do the same as I did over there, because at the moment I have no plans to put a building in. Depends if I do the tailors. I could put the tailors to the front. Or is it the spinnery we need first? Spinnery then tailors? I can't remember what it was. What do I need to do in what order? Oil plant we haven't done. Grape factory we've got. Fertiliser production. Yes, spinnery. So the spinnery for doing grape leather, and then we can move on to the tailor shop later on for doing shoes and belts. They pay out really well. So it'd be the spinnery next. So I was thinking, do I put the spinnery down at the front and then put maybe one of those here, or put them both here, so it's all kind of in one. Our grape production processing plant would all be in one place. Maybe. Alright. So I'm going to grab the harvester that's at the front. We're going to try to take that to field 8. Then I'm going to whiz over to actually I'm going to leave that there so that we can put the pallets on. Let's go and grab the harvester and we'll get that going. And then anything left over from both contracts will go into our silo. One of them was, but there was an oat one and a barley one. So I'll take the barley one on, because like I say, if we are going to do pig food, we're going to be doing the pig food recipe with barley. So I thought I'd grab the barley one, and as more contracts become available, we'll just grab whatever we can. So let's get this out. I'm going to be hiring workers, as I've done before. So my intention is to get the headlands done either end, and then I think I need to do the far side of field 8 because it's a triangle, it's at an angle. So I might need to do a little bit of tidying up just to get it right. I think what we'll do... Just trying to decide where to put this. What I'm going to do. Beacons on. Glad I did that. I'll let you pass. Swing round behind. There we go. It's like a ballet. Let's open that up. Now again, if I wanted to, the fact it's a barley field, if I had one of the lizard forage pickups, I could put the straw swath down and I could bale it, I could collect it. We have got bales, we've got quite a few straw bales, so at least for this season I don't need to. You know, I did it a lot on Edgewater because I was using the straw for other things on Edgewater. Beside the straw processing, and we were making hats and baskets and all that kind of stuff. Actually, car working just up this side. I should have gone that way to do the headlands. I've done it again, haven't I? That's all. This is going to fill up really quickly, looking at this. And I was also using the straw for making manure and the manure for making fertiliser on Edgewater, which I'm not doing on here. I'm doing a different process for our fertiliser using the grapes. Yeah, should have gone the other way. I think it's going to be full before I get to the top. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to back it up and go the other way. Get the headlands in first, because this is the side that's straight anyway, so I can get set worker off on this at any point. Well, this will be the side that will finish off now, I think, because what I'm going to do is do the headlands, and I'm going to start that side. So because the canola field I'm doing, field 18, is smaller, I'm going to use the lorry with the semi-trailer, articulated lorry trailer, on this side, on this field, because it's a much bigger field. I think this pays out 20 grand. I'm sure it's 20 grand. And then I'm going to take some of the smaller trailers up to the other field for doing the canola, because there shouldn't be as much. Yeah, there shouldn't be as much. Canola normally yields less but pays more. So that's my theory. We'll try it and see what happens. I think I need to convert one of my small trailers over, because at the moment I've got 3 on bale trailers and 2 on container, so I need to switch one more over, I think, and have 3 on container and take those up there. Happy days. Keep it on that side. Hopefully I won't miss anything. We'll see how we get on. So I'm going to give some thought to, I definitely need to do some mowing, so I'm thinking if I do what I've done before, that contract on field 17, that big field for doing silage bales, I haven't borrowed equipment, so I'm going to do what I did before. I'm going to lease equipment, and then the silage bales that I sell over and above, because I'm not going to keep any, it normally does pretty well, that's what pays for me leasing. So it'll be the ultimate mowing and baling pack, and because I've leased it, it won't be specific to that contract field. I can then use it for my grass fields as well. So what I'll do is I'll do my mowing and stuff using that same gear that I've leased for doing the contract. So it's a bit of a double whammy, which should be alright. And I think all the grass around my field edges and stuff has regrown again, so if I wanted to. But what I do need is a forage, because I'm not going to bale it. I'm just going to do grass. I suppose I could do hay if I'm doing sheep. I don't need to, I can just feed them grass. It doesn't have to be. But I guess if I did make hay, we could get ourselves a hay loft and store it loose, and then we got feed for the sheep moving forward. Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking. That won't be in this episode, I don't think I'm going to get any of that done, but we just want to get the harvesting done, and I'll bounce through and get as much done as I can. See? Thoughts verbalised. Everything's going through my head. So we go back to the outside. You'll see here that this curves in, so it's not a straight line. I need to get this corner sorted out, or this edge sorted out, so I've got a straight edge, headlands top and bottom, and then I can set a work up, we'll be good to go. Hence why I started nice and early. It was bright, it's a lovely day. Let's go. It's 6:38 in the morning. I've got my first full load from Field 8, which we're taking to Jenny's Old Stones. And I've got a full load, I've got 4 of my smaller trailers put together. Oh, massive shout out to, was it Chris or was it Heavy Metal Gaming? I think it might be Heavy Metal Gaming that mentioned, and I've completely forgotten that I'd done it as an option, on the back of this I've got a rear trailer hitch. So I could, if I wanted to, hook my small trailers to the back of this to make a mega train. But the reason I've kept them separate was simply because I'm 2 harvests on 2 separate fields, so what I'm collecting I'm keeping separate. Yeah. So Jenny's Old Stone should be over here. Bales go around that side, and this side is for grain delivery, but I'm going to do my usual. I'm going to come back on, I'm going to check the contract because I just do. So Field 8 harvesting barley, which we've got in our trailer, take to Jenny's Old Stones farm, absolutely. Now can I get round this bend? Yeah, it should be alright. I'll have to readjust in a minute. Now hopefully the money won't go up, and we should be delivering. There we go. Bingo! And then what I'll do is take this, will go back to the field, and then I've got my Fen, I think it's the Fen, with 4 small trailers, so 44,000 litres of canola from Field 18. Which, again, I'll double check. Field 18, canola, transport company, yep. All good. 16% transport, is that all? That's a bit worrying. Down that. And then we'll crack on. And then what I'll do is, once both of these contracts are done, if any more harvest contracts are available, I'll jump on those. Like I said, I've taken on 1 baling contract. We've got a couple for cultivating. Oh, that one there. Another barley one for 13 grand. So if I can get these done nice and quick, I might jump on that. The more crops I can kind of gather together, the better. 33%. That's worrying because I thought, I'm not sure how much that field we've cleared, you know. I thought in my head it was about half of it, but if that's only 33%, then technically we've only done a third of it. Yeah, potentially, because that's got obviously a smaller section. It gets bigger the further it goes that way. So yeah, maybe we've only done a third. Oh, that's alright. So, it's going to take a little bit longer. I'll get this back. I'll see you... It'll only be a few minutes by the time I've got this back and we get over to transport company. We'll offload the canola for Field 18. And I will continue. Blissfully happy in just doing harvesting. Sometimes it's not all about the whiz-bangy super duper productions and all the fancy pants gear. Sometimes it's just nice to just do a bit of harvesting. And I have to say, having done this has been recorded in a few different parts, as you can probably imagine, because I talked about doing these stuff with MrSealyp, and we've already done our 2nd episode. That's up. But I think one thing I'm getting from doing that series of MrSealyp is appreciating so much more the basic stuff, the stuff that we all, and I know I talk about it a lot, but that we all take for granted, that we all do if we've been playing the game for a long time, that new people to the game either don't know how to do or are learning to do, or you know, even just basic controls. You know, you forget how many menus there are, how many different button configurations and options there are. Like with the PlayStation controller, I know the Xbox and PC, and you know, so many different control options. And if you have the help window open top left and you do your L1, R1, L1, R1, and sometimes some of the options that you do have available aren't even shown on there. It's almost like hidden little secrets, and you know, and so many facets to the game, which again, if you played for a long time, as they've been incrementally added to, you know. So you start off, when I did, on 15 with certain things, and then 17 added a few bits more, and then 19 added a few bits more. But if you're joining the game on 22, all of it is available, and it's just an assault on the senses. It's just so much information and so much stuff. And you know, you do a story, you do a let's play, and you bounce around, you do a bit of forestry, you do a bit of farming, you do a bit of harvesting, a bit of ploughing, you do some animal husbandry, and you bounce across a bit of everything. But if you're new to the game, that's massively overwhelming. There's so much stuff to get your head around, and I think that's what I'm appreciating a lot more is the the basics of it, of just appreciating just doing a harvest, you know, as I did the first time I played the game. That excitement of jumping in a harvester and thinking, I'm doing a harvest, this is really good, you know, that kind of thing. Anyway, see you later. Got a harvest to unload, and one on field 18. Mountain Transport Company, Fent, 4 trailers, 44,400 litres. Harvester is full. They should all be on tip side left. That's good, money's not going up. That's always a good sign. Top tip. If you go to a sell point with a contract and you unload like this, if your money starts going up, you're at the wrong sell point. Or if you play multiplayer, like myself and MrSealyp were, something may have gone horribly wrong. Which I'm learning. We're both learning on that. I'm teaching MrSealyp and I'm learning things too. I've played multiplayer before. I use multiplayer like I'm doing now. I've got a multiplayer game set up, but I'm on it on my own. Playing with other people, when I did multiplayer on Balham Road with all the guys in my Discord, we weren't harvest contracting. We were doing silage harvesting. So this element of working with somebody else and doing contracts on a multiplayer server is something I haven't done before. So I'm a novice at that, you know. And again, so many elements to the game. Unless you play certain ways, you don't encounter. Let's get that one done. Excellent, right. That's pretty good. I will see you much later. Right, this should be the last of the canola from field 18 to the transport company. So what I'm going to do is deliver this, and maybe there'll be some left over. If there is, we'll keep hold of it and we'll take it back to the silo at the farm. Then I'm going to take on that other harvest contract, which is actually only 2 fields over from field 18 where we've been. I have started the mowing contract. In the last episode, or the last time I did the mowing, I used this. And it struggled. It was fairly slow, especially with the quick bale and the ultimate baling pack. And then I suddenly remembered, when I said about leasing a bigger tractor and it can cost you like 25 grand for a decent enough horsepower, I suddenly remembered I had that John Deere 4755 by Ridiculous Dominic, which is fairly cheap with a high horsepower. It goes up to say 800 horsepower, and I leased that for 5 grand. So I think all in, as you can see, my money's gone down from 450. I think I spent 14,500 leasing equipment for doing that baling contract. And because it's the quick bale, I should be able to get it all done within an hour, which means I won't be charged any more over and above. And then we can maximise our profit. I will more than make that 14 grand back on the contract and selling the silage bales. Actually, that's something I've just thought. I didn't. Did I check it? Baling, field 17. Bale the grass and wrap it. Oh, I suddenly thought, please tell me it wasn't hay bales. I've just been out there wrapping everything. That would have been really bad. Right, so this is possibly the one I'm going to. I'm not sure about this contract. You know, this is pretty near the mark with how much we're delivering. I'll keep my finger on the trigger just in case. There we go. Contract complete. We've got 7,574 litres of canola left over. That'll go back to the store. I didn't borrow equipment. I've got my own. So this one we can complete on 11,585, and then this one here I can accept. Field 12, more barley. Why not? Win, win, win. I'm going to go that way around this time because the direction I need to go out. So yeah, field 8, I think I just said it's got a full harvester, so I'm going to have to go and empty that. And then we'll get all this over to field 12, get the harvester over to field 12. I can probably leave my header trailer where it is by field 18, because like I say, it's 2 fields over, or 1 field over, it's just the next little block. Probably make more sense if I showed you rather than just blathering on. So we're on field 18 here in field 12, so yeah, I mean it's just across there. Field 17 so we're doing the baling, so I'll just move the harvester over, header trailer's there, so once I'm finished I can just drive back over and we'll grab the header trailer. So that's what I'll do. So I'll probably see you... I won't do all of these harvests by the end of the episode. I want to get field 8 done at least. Potentially the baling contract, because like I say, because I used this tractor last time, I was only going at 4 miles an hour. But can I get through that gap? But because I'm using a higher horsepower tractor that moves faster anyway, you can do that one up to, what speed is that? So you can do a 46 mile an hour or 93 mile an hour one. The baling, I'm getting the baling done way quicker than I did last time. So whereas it took me about 2 hours, 2 and a bit hours last time, I should get it all done, like I say, within an hour. So let's jump on this, because at the moment my harvester is sitting there. Oh, it's the wrong side. But it is full and it's charging me while it's sitting there. See you later. I just brought over the last of the barley from field 8 to complete the contract. Now it went 33%, 66%. I bought another full load, which I thought that's going to take me to 99%. But I also then thought, because I've taken on another barley contract on field 12, which has also got to be delivered here, anything over and above would deliver for that contract, which is exactly what happened. Interestingly, this last load, which should have been another 33%, completed the contract on field 8 and delivered 6% for the contract on field 12. But I still haven't finished on field 8 yet. I've got a full harvester and another full run to go, so we're going to get, well, over 14,000 litres off of that field for us. So what I'm going to do once that's done, I'm going to move the harvester then over to field 12, so I'll be running both harvesters over there. But once I've got the rest of the crop off of field 8, I can complete that contract, which is kind of where I wanted to end the episode really, because otherwise it'll just be a continuous harvest. 4-hour episodes of me just harvesting one harvest after the other, which, you know, well, wouldn't bother me. I'll stop doing that. I need the bash counter. There you go. Oh. Anyway, so yeah, that's the situation. That's where we're at. The baling contract, as you've already seen, it's running much faster with that John Deere 4755, yeah, whichever one it was, the ridiculous Dominic one anyway. And I've pretty much baled all of that. So I've got the auto load bale trailer, which I've filled up, does 28 bales. I filled that up, then disconnected, then carried on baling. And the field's almost done now. So once I've finished all the barley harvesting, then it'll just be delivering the bales. Actually, I didn't check that. Is that Jenny Oldstones as well? Let's have a look. Where are we delivering the bales to? Oh, we sell everything. Okay. Wasn't expecting that. And then with that money, because that should be fairly lucrative, I've got to decide. I don't know whether or not to buy a third harvester. I want to invest in getting the spinnery, the one for the grapes, so I can do regular spinnery. I know there's one on the map, but that one will give me the ability to do the grape must and turn that into leatherette. So I think we'll probably go down that route, but that will be next episode. And because I've leased the baling equipment for doing the baling, all the grass that I own, I'm going to mow, and that will be collected. That's the thing I'm going to need to do. I need to put in a silo for like a hayloft. I haven't decided whether I'm going to. I said in the last episode, or was it earlier in this episode, I don't know whether or not to just mow it as grass or whether to ted it. Depends what silo I get. If I buy a hayloft, I'm going to have to turn it into hay because they'll take hay and straw. But if I get one of the, like a multi-fruit silo that I can use as a hayloft, then it won't matter. I can just store it in there as grass. And if I needed to or wanted to at any point, I could take that grass out. Let's cut through here. I could take the grass out and I could lay it on the ground and turn it into hay if I wanted to. Or I could put it in a dryer. I could buy myself a dryer and put the grass into that. Maybe that's the thing to do. If I got a grass, well, that's whether I can take it back out again. I'm just thinking, if I got a dryer, then I could store the grass in it. If I can get the grass back out again, that's fine. But if I needed to, I could then just turn on the grass dryer and turn it into hay. So that's an option too. Anyway, yeah, so I've got a few things I can be doing. So like I say, I just need to clear this, and then whatever's off this field left is now mine because the contract is complete. Awesome, very happy. So yeah, this harvester will go over. So yeah, next episode I think we're going to get a load of mowing done with the equipment we've got. I'm not going to do silage bales, just mowing. We'll sort out hay loft, hay or grass dryer, maybe along those lines. And I want to get all the grass done first before I look at putting sheep in, because I want to make sure I've got feed. And I'm also looking at something else for collecting it, which hopefully will be a surprise for the next episode. We'll see. There we go, 8:55. Contract on field 8 is done. 18 is done. Harvest has been moved over to field 12, so I've got both harvesters over there. So I'm going to put this into storage, and what I can do now, I can complete on the contract. There we go. On field 8, 21,705. Still got those two going. There is that one for oat. Should I do that? Should I pick that one up? I'm going to pick that one up as well. I'll do that off camera. Why not? Like I said, it's harvest season, year 4. Let's get it done. 15,995 litres of barley left over. We'll probably get some left off the other one. We'll get a little bit of oat left over as well from the next contract. And I've got all those bales to deliver. Start the next episode. There'll probably be a couple of quick, just the sort of screenshots of deliveries of the bales, so it'll give the amounts because the money will have gone up by the next episode. But that's it for this one. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.